It brings a lot of people in. It's kids and excitement. It's almost a carnival-like atmosphere.
Everybody was just in a really fantastic mood.
This is Deputy Jacob Seacrest's view from the Oklahoma State University Homecoming Parade around 10:30 in the morning, October 24th, 2015. Just ahead of him, another dash cam shows now Deputy Patricia Benavidez riding with mounted patrol carrying an Oklahoma flag. They were approaching the end of the parade route at the intersection of Hall of Fame Avenue and Main Street when everything changed.
And I remember looking out, just seeing the crowd of people.
I just finished waving out my driver's side window to some kids, and I hear just a loud explosion.
And then just total chaos.
See debris and stuff flying through the air.
I remember parts, I don't know if they were car parts or motorcycle parts, just flying at the horses. Our horses whirled around.
A car went through a road-closed barricade, hit an unmanned police motorcycle, then a crowd of people. Stillwater police released new video and victim interviews to KOCO now 10 years later.
Hollering, get out of the way, move, run.
She was going really fast and just seemed like not trying to slow down whatsoever.
I saw it hit the motorcycle, I heard the crunch of the metal.
It sounded like a bomb going off. And the next thing I knew, I was flying through the air.
And then I blacked out at that point.
Chaos and fear as people scatter, families, children, others rush in to help.
Woke up on the ground. I don't think I lost consciousness, but I was on the ground. I couldn't get up. I think the car was on my foot. I was kind of hysterical. I remember I was bawling and like shaking.
I mean, it was a madhouse.
I remember thinking, is this dying or is this passing out?
We got a car running through the crowd up here. We're going to need extra help. Come on. Everything we can get. Everything we can get. Go! We have multiple 10 or 12 injuries. We need a lot more.
Police dispatch radios for aid. Video shows officers racing to get there.
I'm aware we're trying to get folks on the way. 911 and business lines are ringing off us as we do have fire responding.
Those already on scene jump into action.
Honestly, it was so chaotic, and I'd like to hope I help out some, but even I felt overwhelmed by it all.
Since you're doing good, I'm going to go check on everybody else, okay?
First responders, deputies, police, firefighters, the National Guard, and others all there doing what they can to help the walking wounded and the most critical.
Immediately we were concerned that there was people trapped under the vehicle, and so the community got together, and they physically lifted the car, picked the car up off the ground.
The injured first getting care on the pavement, then triage tarps on the road. Random people, parade goers, victims' loved ones, working side by side with emergency personnel to try and soothe the suffering.
Everyday people that saw their fellow man in need, and they just jumped in without hesitation.
Deputy Seacrest and Benavidez have strong ties to the community. Both attended OSU. Deputy Seacrest played football there. He was 2 years into his law enforcement career at Payne County Sheriff's Office when the crash happened. Benavidez was a reserve deputy who had never responded to a crime scene.
Felt discombobulated a little bit. I'd never been a part of anything like that. I'd never seen anything of that magnitude. I don't really think anybody had. Just the mass amount of people who were injured that day is just kind of seared into my brain.
Right now we have topped out all of our ambulances and all the helicopters too. So if they can get to the hospital themselves, I would tell them to go for it.
Video shows ambulances arrive and helicopters land on the road to airlift those who need the most intensive care. Strangers load up some of the injured onto their trucks.
I loaded up a couple of ladies. One was on a stretcher, and the other girl we carried over to my truck. She had a broken ankle.
We have a child, a mom that's part of our group, and I have her daughter over at Red Lobster.
That's where I would tell everybody if you're involved in Red Lobster, and then the chaplain's on his way over there.
In the commotion, children are separated from their parents.
I try to find my child where he is, and I couldn't find him.
I didn't know where my baby was.
At this time, I lose my sense.
I ran to the first child I saw.
Some people told me that they found a little girl somewhere. Finally, I saw her. Someone was holding her and she was crying.
Less than a minute after the crash, the driver emerges from a gray car, clinging to a stranger who walks her to a folding chair. You see the urgency around them. Moments later, now with law enforcement, she walks across the intersection, past people needing emergency care. Off camera, you hear some of the officers' conversation with her, then someone else.
If you haven't taken anything today, not even like migraine medicine or something as simple as your prescribed medicine, are you prescribed anything? Do you have any medical conditions? No, ma'am, you can't. No, you can't, ma'am. You cannot leave. Okay, and we're investigating an accident, so you're not free to leave, okay? All right. She's in a daze, so she seems like she's on something.
Can I just put her in one of our cars?
Yeah, that's perfectly fine with me.
After several minutes, you see the driver cross the crime scene again, behind her mangled car and the mayhem.
You don't have anything illegal on you, no knives, nothing? Hold on a second, let me pass you down.
And into the back of a patrol car.
Go ahead and have a seat. I've got her in the backseat of my vehicle. She's made a statement to the person that first talked to her that she wanted and that she's going to make everything peaceful. She looks like she's on something. Who needs to go over there? Okay, let's go. Ma'am, right now you're being placed under arrest for DUI, okay? All right? I'm going to take you to the hospital. Due to the severity of the accident, we're going to have to do a blood kit, okay? All right? 1044, phone number.
She's quiet and looks around as they drive away from the agonizing scene.
It's like, oh my God, what did I just witness? What did I just see? All of those people's lives who were impacted, you know, the families who lost a loved one that day, especially, you know, a child.
3 people died there where the crash happened. A child just 2 years old passed away at the hospital. Dozens more people, close to 50, suffered injuries. Countless others traumatized by the horror.
It'll stick with me forever.
Honestly, couldn't drive down that road for a while just because the memories kept popping up.
If there's anything to take away from it, I think it's just that as a community, we're stronger together than we are as individuals.
So while there's still memories of the tragedy, and I still thank God, you know, and that I'm here today, and I pray for those that aren't here, I'm still so very thankful and very proud of what we do.
Now, the homecoming parade still happens every year there in Stillwater. Authorities have added more security and fortified roadblocks. The driver, Adacia Chambers, is in prison in the mental health wing. Her attorney says that she was in full-blown psychosis when the crash happened and that the toxicology report showed she was not under the influence of alcohol or drugs. He says she did not want families to endure a trial and took a plea deal, life in prison with the possibility of parole.